ருசிக பரலோக சுவையின்ப இயேசுவே என் வாழ்வின் திவ்யமிர்தமே இன்னும் இன்னும் வேண்டும் என்று கெஞ்சுதே உள்ளமே உன் நினைவாலே நிலையம் ஏங்குதே வல்லாய்.
Okay, good evening to all of you. We welcome all the viewers and subscribers of Milky TV and especially viewers of Pen, Mic and Swords program. And today is our 22nd episode and we are back to you again with a 22nd book. And this book is a special book because this book has been released in the Indian market. The author is an Indian author and the plus point is we are quite familiar with the author and it is none other than our Chiradeep brother. So brother has been writing many good books nowadays and this book is a very special book and it is very close to my heart. So I don't want to go into the details of the book and steal the show from Sam Siddharthan because Sam is going to present this book. Sam is a married guy. So every one of you who are viewing the program don't think that a youth is reviewing this book. Is a married guy with a baby. And so let us see the content of the book. The book content title is very interesting. It goes like this: Beyond Barrenness, Anna's path to emotional restoration, integrating the CBT model with Anna's journey of overcoming barrenness and mental torment. So now we are living in a very fast-paced lifestyle. Our lifestyle is not like how our generation before or our parents or our grandparents lived. They had a very very active lifestyle. They had very healthy food. So as soon as they got married, they didn't have any issues. So everyone had children as quick as possible. But now it is really quite very difficult. So in Chennai, as you all must be knowing, Chennai is the hub of medical center. So the way from our church, from our home, it is almost 40 kilometers. In this 40 kilometers, each after 500 meters, I can see a fertility center or a fertility research center or a fertility clinic or a fertility hospital. It has sort of become a booming experience, but at the same time, many people are facing issues in getting conceiving or having a baby. So let us see Chiradeep brother's viewpoint in this book and what he wants to tell to the readers and to all those who are waiting for a baby or those who have gone through the journey and now have a baby. I think this book would be a really a very important book for each and every woman, each and every married woman, because as soon as a girl child is born in the Indian scenario, it is considered that one day she would go to another family. And around 9 to 10 years, they will ask as the child attain the puberty age. That would be the next question. And once the child attains the puberty after some 10 years, they will ask, when are you getting them married off? And once they are getting married off, the next question is when you're going to have a baby. So Indians are very blunt in asking it directly, not like foreigners. So it is really hurtful to the women who are trying for a baby to hear such questions and responding to them. So without much delay, I would like to turn the podium to Sam to give his presentation. I think he is very excited, he is smiling, he is all prepared and for this review. So over to you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible to you, both of you, right? Well,
Sam, you can speak a bit louder, I think.
okay, fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So, first of all, I will start with a small story before starting this book. Just now, Jemima told that just going through that way in Chennai, in every 500 meters, there are a lot of fertility centers. So, this was the same question asked to me. The thing is that I and my one colleague went to Chennai to doing some type of audit. So when we were traveling, he is a Mumbai guy. So he asked me I can see lot of fertility centers in each and every what to say, stores or shops. What is this? What is happening in Chennai? So I was a bit shocked. Yeah, yeah, I never noticed this. So why is this happening? So how the Tamil Nadu people are thinking of that baby? So I was doing some research because in Mumbai there are like centers, but not this much in every 500 meters. That I was very shocked to know why. So what are the different types of peoples and cultures are there all over India? So when I was going through the research, then I got this book, that is Beyond Barrenness, Hannah's Part to Emotional Restoration, integrating the CBT model with Hannah's journey of overcoming barrenness and mental torment, by Chiradeep, sir, which was released on Amazon August 15. Okay, so I definitely I had gone through that book in a summarized way, and in the Amazon I reviewed that I will definitely review this book on pen, mic, and swords. So I want to keep up that word. Okay, I will definitely review that this book. So to be honest, I studied these biblical chapters, okay, but not like very deep. So normally what every time we hear sermon about like Samuel and Hannah, so there was some story going in the back end, but I never experienced, or I never put myself into Hannah's shoe so that I can think like her, or how her what she was overcoming and what she was going through. So while reading this book, I was just going through, okay, these are the what these are the shortcomings, or these are the problems that women face, not in this era, in the previous era also. uh, they will I think I'm audible to all of you because of the
Yes,
different.
Sam, you're audible.
Okay.
Admin, please change the banner. Some of the programs banner is coming.
Shall I
Sam, you
continue or?
continue, Ma.
Yeah, fine, fine. Yeah, sure. So there are actually six chapters. The sixth chapter is the assignment. So I will not touch on that. So the five chapters. First is introduction. Second is the situation and mental condition of Hannah. Third is her character and attitude. And the fourth is family as the support system. And fifth is the CBT model based on Hannah's story. And this was really very new for me. So yeah, so we delve into the timeless story of Hannah, a figure of unwavering faith and resilient spirit from the pages of the Bible. Through a journey of emotional restoration, we uncover profound lessons that resonate with the human experience, offering guidance and solace to those seeking healing and renewal. Okay, as we trace Hannah's path from heartache to triumph, we are reminded of the power of faith, perseverance, and the capacity of our inner transformation. So okay, so this book is not just a retelling of a biblical account, it is an exploration of the universal themes of human emotions and the journey toward restoration. So it is a guide for those who find themselves in the depths of their struggle, seeking solace and understanding. It is a testament to the transformative power of faith, perseverance, and self discovery. So using Hannah's life experience as motivation. So the author has walks us through a step-by-step procedure for the cognitive behavioral therapy, that is CBT paradigm, which can be a beneficial tool for all of us even today. Hannah's story provides a rich tapestry for applying CBT principles. Her experience of infertility, social ostracism, and ensuing emotional turmoil mirror the very challenges of CBT addresses. Okay, so through an analysis of our journey, we witness the application of CBT's core components, that is cognitive restructuring, behavioral activation, and the last one is systematic desensitization. So, what the author says, and this is my viewpoint also. So, author says, during my prime years, I encountered many men and women, but when I met these women, my heart was filled with both agony and joy simultaneously, which I also definitely felt. Despite being a man myself, a woman's lifestyle and her approach to dealing with emotional distress left a significant impact on me. So, author has documented her character study, intending to publish. So, he published in the popular Christian magazine in India. So, this woman, which the author and I speak, is none other than Hannah, the mother of Samuel, Israel's first prophet. Okay, so let's get started to to the introduction. So, living in this world can be incredibly challenging. Every single one of us is bound to face difficult times that can be emotionally and mentally taxing, from sadness, sorrows, depression, and pain to various other trials and tribulations. So, life can seem like an uphill battles at times. So, these struggles can make it difficult to keep going, to find strength and resilience to face new challenge that comes our way. However, those who are able to weather storms and keep going despite the hardship they face are the ones who become truly great. By persevering through a tough times, they develop a sense of resilience and strength that allows them to navigate life's challenge with greater ease and confidence. So, there is a different case study or life stories of great women and men gives us a lot of information about how they fought their own challenges in life. They become our examples and encouragement, and we look up to them as a models as how to face our battles also valiantly. One such example is a woman from the Bible that is called Anna. So Hannah was a troubled woman who faced significant challenges both mentally and emotionally. Her battles were particularly difficult given the era she was in and the situation she was in. By the way, she fought her psychological as well as sociological demons till winning her battle is an amazing model for all of us who go through tough times. So, this book is not only for the women, this book is also for men, for adult, for youth, for the age. So we should not consider this book as only for the women. No. So, by studying her case and learning from an example, we can find the strength and resilience we need to face our own challenges and overcome them. Okay, so before going through the this model, I will just go through the gist of the story, what exactly the story is. So it is written in the first Samuel chapter 1. So this chapter tells the story of a woman called Anna who was married to a name called a man called Elkanah. So Hannah was barren and could not bear children, which was a source of great sadness for her. Elkanah and her another wife named Penina, who had children, and she often taunted and provoked Hannah, causing her much distress. So the story takes place during the times of Judges, where the Israelites were ruled by the series of leaders chosen by God. Elkanah and his family went up to the tabernacle in Shiloh each year to offer sacrifices to the Lord. One year, while they were there, Hannah went into the tabernacle and prayed to God, weeping bitterly. She made a vow to the Lord that if he would give her a son, she would dedicate him to serving God all the days of his life. So, as Anna was praying, Eli the priest was sitting nearby. He saw her lips moving but heard no voice, and he assumed she was drunk. He rebuked her, but Hannah explained that she was pouring out her soul to the Lord and was not drunk. Eli blessed her and sent her on the way. Hannah and Elkanah returned home, and soon after, Hannah became pregnant and gave birth to a son whom she named Samuel, meaning asked of God. When Samuel was weaned, Hannah took him back to the tabernacle to fulfill her vow to the Lord. She left him in the care of Eli the priest, and he grew serving in the tabernacle. Hannah composed a prayer of thanksgiving, praising God for his faithfulness and for answering her prayer for a son. The prayer is a beautiful expression of gratitude and trust in God's goodness and power. So, this is the summary in the Bible. So when I had gone through this book, when Anna gave her one and only child to the tabernacle, or nowadays we can call church. When I was reading through this passage in the Bible, in First Samuel, so I literally cried, because no mother can give her child to God. They can give to God, but uh, keeping the child in church or in the tabernacle. So I was going through that emotional, that how Hannah did, because uh, to be honest, it was one of the very difficult and toughest times, because uh, she waited a years and years to bore a son, and definitely it came from God. So when I was reading this passage, I was little bit disappointed. I was little bit disappointed with God. I am telling my view. I was, "Arre, why did God just tell Hannah that, okay, keep that son with you, and definitely after growing adult, he will definitely serve me." So because I didn't know the story fully. Then again, I read that first chapter, second chapter. In the second chapter, God has definitely kept an answer to us. The answer is First Samuel chapter 2, 20 and 21. And Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "The Lord give you descendants from this woman for the loan." The highlighted one is loan. Okay. So that women has given a loan to the God, that was given to the Lord. Then they would go to their home, and the Lord again visited Hannah, so that she conceived her for not one, okay, three sons and two daughters specifically. Meanwhile, the child Samuel grew before the Lord. So that was okay. Okay, God is good. God is definitely very good. Okay, so actually, this was an eye opener for me, because whenever a pastor preaches, he never told me this. This was the first time when I read Bible. Okay, I have read Bible, but I am not in all of my life. I just thought, okay, Hannah has just had only one son. His name is Samuel. That's it. So this was the first time when I read Bible. Okay, no, no, man. So I definitely I identified myself. No, I am very weak in Bible reading. I would definitely read lot of Bible and lot of spiritual books. So this was a really eye opener for me. Okay. So this was about the first chapter. Now we will go to the second chapter. The situation and the mental condition of Anna. This is very much important. Okay. In our pursuit to comprehend any individual, it becomes imperative to examine his or her background and the circumstances he or her experienced. Without understanding the cocoon that envelops a person, we cannot truly grasp his state of mind. Her condition is explained in this chapter. There are actually six conditions which are explained. First one is she was a barren woman. Second, she was tortured mentally by her rival Penina regularly and severely. She was miserable. She had no joy. She was in bitterness of soul. She was troubled. So, considering the above facts mentioned in the Bible, let's categorize Hannah's condition, her situation, and state of mind in terms of personal, family, and social aspects. So, personal. So, barrenness, though not explicitly described as a curse in the Bible, is often portrayed as a form of hardship or sorrow for women. In certain cultural and historical contexts, barrenness is still is perceived as a source of shame or even considered a divine punishment. During ancient times, the ability to bear children held significant value in society. Barren women faced immense shame and social stigma. This is evident in the story of Sarah and Abraham, where Sarah, who was unable to conceive, suggested that Abraham father a child with an Egyptian slave, Hagar, as mentioned in Genesis 16:1 and 2. The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my slave, perhaps I can build a family through her. Abraham agreed to Sarah's proposal. Another example which I can find in Genesis 31 regarding that Rachel, give me children or I will die. So for women who desire to have children, barrenness often led to a range of negative emotions such as sadness, anger, frustration, and grief. Understanding the emotional state of individuals like Hannah who struggled with barrenness becomes easier when considers what she must be going through. Second, family. So mental torture by Penina. So in our uh, in our location or in our family also, there might be mental torture. Okay, which in verse 6 it reveals that Hannah's rival Penina regularly and severely tormented her. This emotional torment within her own family would have created a hostile and unhealthy dynamic, causing additional emotional pain and anguish, misery, and lack of joy. Okay, verse 6 also describes Hannah as being miserable and lacking joy. This suggests that her family environment was far from supportive or uplifting, contributing to the overall emotional suffering. Third one is social bitterness of soul. Hannah expressed her bitterness of soul. This indicates that her barrenness not only affected her within her family but also had a profound impact on her social interactions and relationship. The social expectation and pressure to bear children likely added to her emotional burden. So she had a troubled state also. Hannah is described as troubled. This suggests that her barrenness and the challenges she faced within her family and social context deeply affected her mental and emotional well being. She carried this burden wherever she went, impacting her interactions with others. This was about the second chapter, the burden, the impact what the Hannah was going through. And third, which is very much important, her character and attitude. Whenever we also go through this type of situation, what should be our character? So God has clearly mentioned all the things in the Bible. So what we might be going through, how are the challenges and what are the challenges we might face, and in those challenges and in those toughest situation, what attitude and character we should have. So let's go through that also. It is true that negative situations can either make or break a person. Great personality stand firm in the midst of the adversity, revealing their true character, facing challenges and making the right choices in life until they emerge victorious. On the other hand, some succumb to adverse circumstances. They are at others who become rebels. Now let's turn our attention to Hannah. Did she stand firm? Did she emerge victorious? Did she retaliate or rebel against God, her husband, or her rival Penina? Or did she consistently do what was right in the eyes of the Lord? The answer you all know. Negativity didn't change her character. Hannah displayed remarkable character despite facing challenges. Although she experienced distress and frustration, several aspects illustrate her wonderful nature in the passage that we study in the Bible. Hannah had a special place in her husband's heart, evident in verse 5, where she was referred to as his favorite. Second, her husband provided care and comfort to Hannah. Third, Hannah responded gracefully and was not irritated by Eli's statement when the Eli was saying you are drunk. Okay, so we must also politely, we must have that graceful nature in ourselves. There was a sense of humility in Hannah's voice. Okay, further highlighted her admirable nature. How do we interact to difficult situations like this? Does the color of our character or values change with different situations, or do they remain undented? We should ask this question to ourselves. So, another thing which is very, very, very important, she was consistent in prayer. We normally lack. Hannah demonstrated consistency in her prayer life. Firstly, she was diligent in seeking God's presence. Additionally, she persisted in praying to Lord. Considering Hannah's example, it prompts us to reflect on our own consistency in prayer. Are we steadfast in our communication with God? Do we maintain a regular habit of seeking His presence and continuing in prayer? Consistency in prayer is vital for nurturing a deep and intimate relationship with God. It helps us to cultivate faith, trust, and reliance on His guidance and provision. It allows us to express our joy, sorrows, and needs while also seeking His will and aligning ourselves with His purpose. I definitely agree that in today's world, it is very difficult to do prayer or to make a personal, intimate relationship with God, but we should make a separate time. Definitely, I am definitely into that zone in which I am definitely trying to read in 24 hours, to read 1 hour Bible regularly, and to do 1 hour prayer regularly. We should definitely communicate with God. That I am implementing in my life, and definitely we all should implement the prayer and the Bible reading, two important tools in our life, so that we can get victorious in our life. So next is that she was determined. She had a purpose. Hannah exhibited determination and purpose in her actions. It is mentioned that in the verse 9, she stood up, indicating she made a firm decision and took action, which she was unable to do for years together. This signifies her resolute determination as she stood up with a specific purpose and an unwavering faith. So, Hannah's example encourages us to examine our own strength in making decisions. Are we easily swayed by others or become indecisive? Or do we demonstrate strong determination in pursuing our goals and convictions? Strength is a decision making involves having a clarity of purpose, considering different perspectives and information, and being willing to act despite potential challenges or uncertainties. It requires self confidence, trust in oneself, and the ability to weigh options and make choices that align with our values and aspirations. Another strong quality she had is that she had strong faith. Hannah demonstrated a strong faith in God throughout the narrative. Okay, despite her initial sadness and self imposed fasting, there are notable indications of her unwavering faith. First is Hannah's decision to take food. Okay, so we don't know how many are taking food regularly if they are sad. Okay, in verse 18, it indicates her trust in God's faithfulness and provision. It demonstrates her belief that God would definitely answer her prayer and fulfill her heart's desire. Second is the transformation in Hannah's countenance is highlighted in verse 18. Her face was no longer downcast, implying that her faith in God brought her renewed hope and joy. Whenever we feel very sad or very down, we should definitely pray so that our face will get bright, and we can uh, hope, and we will and our sorrow will turn into joy. So she trusted in God's ability to bring out a positive change in her circumstances. And definitely in verse 19, which is mentioned in the Bible, it is mentioned that Hannah had a physical contact with her husband, demonstrating her faith in God's promise to bless her with a child. Despite her previous barrenness, she stepped out in faith, believing that God would fulfill his words. The example of Hannah's strong faith invites us to examine our own trust and reliance on God. Do we possess a steadfast faith even in the face of challenges and uncertainty? Do we trust God's promises and seek His guidance in our lives? Definitely, strengthening our faith requires cultivating a deep relationship with God through prayer, studying His Word, and seeking His presence. Definitely, we should go to church. We should not miss. It involves surrendering our doubts and fear, placing our trust in His perfect plan, and definitely leaning on Him for strength and guidance. And finally, chapter 4, family as a support system. Having the support of family members is of utmost value when facing distressing situation. Having the closest individuals in your life by your side makes it easier to navigate life's challenges. Definitely, a support system Hannah had is Elkanah, her husband of Hannah, was a great source of support for her during her emotional turmoil. Here are a few ways in which he provided support to her. First, support. He provided spiritual support. Second, he provided mental and emotional support. How? Elkanah consistently approached Hannah with compassionate questions like, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? So the thing is that nowadays, whenever the couples are getting married, husband doesn't talks to her in this way. So definitely Bible teaches us how to talk with a wife when the woman is barren. The depth of her concern and care for his wife is rare in today's world. He openly expressed his emotions to her. A heartfelt line reads, don't I mean more to you than 10 sons? This statement reveals the profound love Elkanah had for Hannah, even in the face of her barrenness. By giving her mental and emotional support, he poured out his emotions before Hannah, showing vulnerability and empathy. So, how many husbands are doing in this world? We should definitely ask this question to them. He was respectful and valued his wife. So, how many of you are doing? Because nowadays, a woman doesn't bear any son, daughter, anything, any child, his in laws or his father and mother, they don't respect. It's okay. But definitely, his husband should definitely respect his wife and value his wife. Elkanah's words to Hannah were, do what seems best to you. Throughout the chapter, there is no instance of Elkanah making suggestions, giving orders, or imposing his will. Instead, he exemplified humility as a husband who genuinely loved his wife. This level of selflessness is truly remarkable. He also respected and valued his wife's decision. So, how many our our or making or valuing our wife's decision? Elkanah reinforced his respect for Anna by telling her, do what seems best to you, and supported her choice to stay at home and care for their son until he weaned. Okay, so this was indicates her willingness to value his wife's opinion and thoughts, which is unfortunately uncommon in many families today. Elkanah's love and support for Hannah, despite the challenges she faced, sets an amazing example for husbands in today's world. Though his name may not be frequently mentioned in the Bible beyond this chapter or in comparison to Hannah, his unwavering commitment and support is worth celebrating. As a husband, Elkanah provided exceptional care to Hannah during her distressing, distressing circumstances, including conflicts with Penina, is another wife, and Anna's own struggle with barrenness. Definitely. Let us all strive to understand and learn from Elkanah's admirable qualities so that we can provide similar support to our family members facing difficult situations or mental and emotional challenges. May we cultivate a deep love and unwavering support within our own families, just as Elkanah did. Not only husband, as a brother, as a sister, as a father, as a mother, as an in law, definitely we should support women. And last one, the CBT model based on Hannah's story. So this story revolves around a generation, a lot of generation, but Hannah's story concludes with her experiencing joy and receiving rewards. which can be attributed to her unwavering faith in love. This can be observed in the second chapter of 1. She, she sings, "My heart rejoices in the Lord." Her life truly imparts several valuable lessons and provides insights into the secrets of God's blessing and joy. Now, also, we wonder how a baby is born. So, this model, which is we can't understand. So, her life truly imparts several valuable lessons and provides insights into the secrets of God's blessing and joy. It is true that God, the maker of us all, can transform our life instantaneously, but He won't intervene unless we surrender ourselves into His hands. This point is very much important. He is a wonderful counselor who can listen, comfort, and even heal us from our pain, but that happens only when we allow Him to intervene. So, considering all this, three important question arises. Was Hannah going through a mental health issue? What was the process of her transformation? Is the transformation process relevant to us today? Addressing the first question, we should consider when our worries and anxieties become persistent and significantly impact our daily function. It may indicate a mental health issue. In Anna's case, 1 Samuel 1:7 mentions that Penina's taunting and Hannah's misery persisted year after year. Therefore, it is reasonable to conclude that she was going through that emotional, distressing experience. So, Dr. Aaron T. Beck, a modern psychologist, evolved with a new technique called cognitive behavioral therapy in 1960, which many people, including Hannah, have applied to themselves. Much more, it was even founded. Yeah, Anna went through a self CBT process without knowing the technicalities of it, which was founded by Dr. Beck much later. And we undertake that she allowed God to intervene and heal her. So, CBT model for overcoming emotional distress. There are actually 6 points which I have mentioned. First, identify the sources and trigger points of negative, destructive thinking. Second, develop awareness of the emotions and beliefs associated with negativity. Third one, develop the ability to catch negative thoughts in an act, reframe them, and choose empowered thoughts. Fourth, setting realistic goals. Fifth is enhancing self esteem. Sixth is seeking support. So, by shifting her focus from herself to God and His promises, definitely. Did she get any results? Of course. See, in Samuel, 1 Samuel 1:18, it is written, "So the woman went on her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. When she prayed and she poured out her soul to the Lord, she was no longer sad." So she implemented years ago a self CBT model. Definitely, I end up with this. Definitely, it was an eye-opening book for me, and definitely for other people also who all are hearing. And uh, uh, there are many women whom I know who are facing challenges and they are still barren. In my office place also there are many women, and I will just take 2 minutes that I also faced the similar situation, that what I should do after my marriage. The thing is that I married at 26 and 27 that time. So we thought that do do we need a baby? So let's enjoy for 2 to 3 years and then we can plan. Okay, so we can enjoy our life. Okay, we can roam here and there. Okay, so at once I contacted a doctor. He is in Mumbai, Andheri. He told me that, Sam, don't postponed your baby. It will affect your life. The thing is that he is a very famous doctor in Mumbai. He told after 30-35 years, they plan for a baby. After marrying 5 to 6 years, they plan for a baby, and uh, uh, they are not blessed with the baby. Okay, so don't create a wrong impact on the family, on the social issue. Okay, and it will affect your wife mentally also and socially. So uh, plan for a baby. Okay, so actually we hadn't planned, and within 3 months my wife got conceived after the marriage, and definitely God has blessed. So after reading this book, I still feel that we are definitely blessed as a family, and definitely this Samuel name. I didn't knew that this name has a significant value. The thing is that when I was in my mother's womb, my dad was praying with God, and my dad was praying, what name should I give to my son or daughter? So God has personally told that a son will be born and keep his name Samuel. So I'm definitely blessed with God. So God has selected my name, and God has chosen me for his ministry. Definitely, definitely I'm doing ministry also. So so God has given me a good chance, and He has selected me that I should be faithful in the in the multitudes, in the thousands of men. And thank you for this show that that you have given me a chance to represent me, and to represent Jesus. And definitely this book is a worth reading to all of you. And I end the review in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. Always, I used to give review to Sam after his review. He himself will either call up and send a message. How was it, Akka? So today in online only, I would like to give a big applause to Sam because after reading this book, I thought a woman will understand the situation far better. So if women had come forward to do this review, it would have been nice. But Sam, you did a really very wonderful job because a women's problem or a women's issue only women could understand. I was thinking like that, but Sam brought it so beautifully, connected all the barren women of the Bible and whatever he faced in his life, and he touched to the personal experience, and he also brought out the content of the book very nicely. So I think before I tell anything, I should turn the podium to Chiradeep brother to let us know in what circumstances brother wrote this book, and his thoughts about it. And as a counselor, he must have faced many people and many women who are facing this issue. So definitely, we would like to have his thoughts. So Chiradi brother, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. As you said it rightly, that usually this is a book. I mean, it seems that it's a book for the woman, but it is not. And it is not for infertility as well. When Sam called me a month ago, probably, and we had a long discussion about this book only. And so we were discussing about I clarified that yes, it is not about woman, or yeah, woman is a case study. For our case study, the woman's case study is taken because there is no husband. It's about the person called Hannah. So, but I will just read out, as you said, Sam understood very well. Uh, I was very pleased to read this boy's review on my, on Amazon. He says another masterpiece of a book from, okay, that is different one. While barrenness is something that is directly related to women in general, this book helped me realize and understand the true meaning of the word in depth. How often do we all experience barrenness in the spirit? Please mark. How often do we experience that emptiness when we are drifting away from the presence of God? And how beautifully is this portrayed and addressed in this book? This book has taught me that barrenness is something that we must all experience at some point in our journey of faith, so that we may exalt God when we come out of it. As they say, the bigger the test, the grander the testimony. Okay, this was his review, and this is simply wonderful. I was so happy, and there was another boy who wrote a beautiful. He actually helped me understand. I would also want to try to read his comment, because he just sent me on WhatsApp because he could not comment on Amazon for some reason. I don't know why, but it was so wonderful. It was so wonderful. That particular review was really beautiful, and I just want to read out that one. But as yes, I got it. He says, as someone deeply passionate about psychology, I was captivated by the title of this book, Integrating the CBT Model with Hannah's Journey of Overcoming Barrenness and Mental Torment. There is a common sentiment that Christianity and psychology cannot coexist harmoniously. Many Christians, include myself, often maintain a cautious distance from psychology. This is rooted in the belief that everything we need to understand about the human mind is already detailed in the Bible. Consequently, we tend to shy away from even considering psychological concepts. Some even equate psychology to devilish undertones, largely due to therapies that can profoundly affect our mental process. However, I believe this perspective is misguided, and this book serves as a potent testament to that belief. I am grateful to Mr. Chiradeep. He prepared that like this, but unfortunately he could not post it. I'm grateful to Mr. Chiradeep for presenting a balanced view, bridging the seeming divide between the Bible and psychology. Reading this book was both an honor and a privilege. As a theology student, I wholeheartedly endorse it for its solid biblical foundation and insightful. Okay, so he kind of tried to. So this book, and Sam did not touch this psychological part much. He just read out the comments, rightly so, because he did not want to do something. Misquote something. So he was playing safe, but he reviewed the best chapter. He reviewed is family support, because as a husband he relate himself with Elkanah very well. I did so, and many should, because I know how difficult it is for a emotional the person who is going through emotional distress, and the trigger points. If as family members, if we don't help, okay, so it is very difficult. That was my thought. This was my first article I wrote, very small article I wrote. I rewrote the article into a book form, expanded it, and studied it, given more studies into more insight into it, and integrated CBT model. So one thing I wrote, which I think Sam should have read it, cautionary note. Have you read that cautionary note at the end of the CBT model? Medical science, psychological methods, and the processes of treating different human diseases are essential for the welfare of mankind. However, all these cannot override God's way of dealing with people and his healing touch on their lives. God led, man made methods can lead the way to healing. Okay. And human beings, sorry, uh, healing. And human beings witness miracles happening in their lives. A remarkable example of this is seen in the story of Hannah, where no psychological methods were available during her time. Forget about Hannah's time. When I was a kid, there was nothing, right? Probably Sister Jemima will also agree. Sam is a little modern boy. I mean, little after he was created after us, so he might not understand. He's being a 90s kid, so he won't understand. But I am from 75, so it's 70s born. It's so, I mean, so drastic change. I can see the difference, you know. And during my childhood, there is no knowledge about mental health. Okay. And I was so engrossed with my heart problem. Okay. Right now, I'm more engrossed in human psychology, I mean, human mind than heart. Okay. So Hannah's story, there was no psychological methods were available during her time, yet God redeemed her from the clutches of emotional trauma and distress. God redeemed me as well. Okay, I did not go through any depressant, antidepressant, or any therapy, nothing. But that's needed because the stressors are increasing day by day. In my time, stressors were less. Now the stressors are more. Stressors means that is causing you more stress. Okay. So this account should encourage us to trust in God first and allow him to intervene in our lives, even as we seek human aid, as Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 17 beautifully assures us of God's healing power. I will restore your health, restore you to health, and heal your wounds, declares the Lord. Okay. We take medication, right? So we can also go seek mental help as well. Okay. So this awareness has to be there. And whichever is devilish, remove it. Because in everything there is a positive thing and negative thing. Psychology has positive thing as well. It helps us. And like meditation, okay, it's not our cup of tea. Meditation we do from our word of God. Day and night we do that. Our meditation, our not yoga, that's prayer, that is always there. So we know what is the truth. So we will follow that. But there are some human aids which are helpful as well in our life. So with prayer, we can take that one. Okay, I don't want to bring any controversial thing here. But okay, so this book is very special to me as well, because I never knew that I would write this. I never knew that. So this is a very special book. Only 5 minutes left, so I leave this. My speech, I should stop here.
No, brother, as an author, you can talk as much time as you want, because usually we finish our program in 1 hour, but if it gets extended, no issue, because the topic is it's a very sensitive topic, but also a very important topic. And I was, as Sam told that he's going to review this book, I was quite happy because we are doing this program for, I think, 1 episode. Today is the 22nd episode, and we have never come across a book which deal with this issue. And I was really very happy that I was very excited. I even messaged Sam that, Sam, are you all set? Are you ready for review? Because I thought Sam shouldn't shouldn't forget. I should be on time. But it was on the back of my mind. But I knew that Sam would do it very wonderful. Yes, each and every woman, they have this issue. But as Anna, as a woman of God, as a daughter of God, we need to rely on God, because God in His own time, He does everything beautifully. Yes, for some, it may that God may give them a kid quickly. For some, it takes time. So if we ask each and every woman, they have their own stories. So Sam told this story. So as Sam gave this beautiful review, I don't want to touch on this book, but let us talk about what's happening in India, what is happening even in Christendom, because when a woman is having this problem, they are very fragile. Emotionally, they are fragile. As brother has written in this book, there's a social perspective. Family should be supportive. Family support is really, really very important, because I would like to tell what I went through, because I got married when I was 28-year-old. So before that, I was quite very, very sick. So I was in such a stage that doctors told that only God could save this girl. But in that situation, my dad had that faith that I would be well, and he married me off. And he didn't tell my husband that I was having so many health issues. But I felt that I should tell all my issues to my husband, and I was quite open with him. So what the doctor suggested, after marriage for 6 months, you should not conceive, because I was taking the medications. So that was the counseling given to me. But after 6 months, we started, as Sam told, we started enjoying life. We used to go to Shimla, we used to go to Jammu and Kashmir. We were really enjoying life. And it happened for some 2.5 years, and no one asked me, and we were also not thinking that matter. But my dad started falling sick. So at the time only, it struck me that, oh, my siblings, kids, my dad has, and my dad was also, he was very eager. He used to often ask me the question. So what happened once, my mother-in-law, what she used to do, each month she would make a call. Should make a call and ask us at some particular time that any good news, any good news. And one time my husband, he got irritated, so he made a call to her. If there is good news, we will let you know. No, please don't pester that girl and keep asking that same question. So that way he gave me the support. And then we started to take treatment. The doctor told that both of you are perfectly all right, no issues. But yet I was taking treatment for 1 year, and then I realized, if there is no issue, why should I take medication? Why should I spend so many money on fertility treatment? So let us turn to God, and I stopped the treatment. My husband tried to convince me a lot. No, we shouldn't. We should have faith, but at the same time, we should take medication. But my mindset was that no, I will not take it. I will leave it like that. And for 1 year, we took a huge gap. And after that, my dad, he passed away. He went to be with God. So during his funeral, many of the women, they blessed me. What they blessed me was, my mom was went to God before my marriage. And now my dad has also passed away. So surely God will bless you. So this was the blessing I received. So after coming from the funeral, we went to a church and we went for a service. So there were a lot of issues cropping up in our church due to senior pastor. And one of the senior pastor, he was giving a message. I was the single person who was not having a child, because there were many childless couple. Everyone, they have started having babies, or either they were pregnant. I was the single one who was not having. And what this person he did, he took the story of the Bible. We all know about it, about Elijah and women, Shunammite women. He took the thing and he connected. And what he told was, so when Gehazi is asked by Elijah what happened to the lady, what we can do for her, he's telling that she is childless. So what he was pinpointing was, don't think that you are blessed in every way. So first find out what you are lacking in, and you try to rectify that. And it was like as if a sword has been pierced in my heart. That was the first time I felt that yes, I am childless. So even my husband, he was literally, we both were affected by that preaching, because we know that it is being targeted at us. So on the same church, After the service, when we didn't told to everyone that we are hurt or anything, we just prayed to God with tears. God, today in your presence, such a thing has been said. You please hear our prayers. And I could say that we trusted God, and within 7 days, God blessed me, because after when I got pregnant, when the dates were calculated, exactly after 1 week, God has blessed me. So at the time, brother has written in this book, if someone is during this such times, they're giving us mental torment. So how we are reacting to it? What is our response to it? We didn't directly responded to that person, but I prayed to God. God, even He has daughters. You please remember my distress. So God really heard our prayers, and after that, Liana Ruth, God gave us. So what I want to say to preachers, if you have childless couple in your church, don't target them through biblical word. Give them words of encouragement. Give them the words like how Hannah handled the issue. So it would make the women to come out of that problem and to trust on God. So if a preacher is doing such things, people will lose their faith in God. That's what I wanted to say. And even Sam, we all know about Sam and Sharoni relationship is a unique relationship. He's not like usual husband. We know that how supportive he was. And thanks to Chiradeep brother also for bringing out this book, and for letting us review this book in our platform. And viewers, please go for this book. This book is, I would say, it's not only for Christian, even a secular person can go for this book. They can learn so many things from this book. Chiradeep brothers books are always short, but it has so much content in it. So may it reach many people. And I think even Christian sister is present today. So will she talk?
No, she said, she just messaged me that bhaiya.
Um,
Okay,
am I audible?
yeah, you are audible.
Because
Sister,
I
just tell a few words.
okay. The thing is, I'm not able to hear you guys at all. I could only hear your voices, but couldn't make out what each one is saying. So just give me a moment. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sister, you're audible. You can speak, sister. We can hear you.
No, am I audible?
I think she's unable to hear us, but we are able to hear her
Uh,
completely.
चिड़े भाई आप सुन सकते हैं मुझे? Okay, yes.
How will I
So,
tell?
yeah, I can see your messages. Yeah. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah, this is like a very, unique book that Bhaiya has come out with. As usual, he's always unique. Okay, he's always trying something different. And when I heard about this book, so initially, since we are just four of us over here, I can openly share. Um, Initially, I related with it, okay, to some extent because I'm not married yet. I'm still single, and so I have been told, like I already know that I probably have very slim chances of having children. So that was a medical diagnosis that I got, and currently trying to undergo treatment for it, but the treatment options are very less. Looking at the cause, okay, looking at the reason as to why I have this issue. So when I heard about this book, I did connect with it and kind of liked the idea. But what changed for me was when I heard somebody speak about this book, and that person said, "You know what? When we when we look at this book and when we think about it, we feel that it is more for women." But he said, however, he looked at this barrenness in a very different angle, Okay. And he said this barrenness could be in any field. Now, here, according to him, now each one has a different way of thinking, right? So, according to him, barrenness is not only associated with aspects of having children, but it could also be associated with um, all the other domains of the human life. For example, your spiritual life could be barren. You never know. Or you could experience this barrenness in any other forms of life. Maybe if you are, lacking in so many other things. So I had never thought of it that way. And when I heard this person say this, it I really liked it, and I was like, wow, everybody can relate to this particular book. And initially, I did ask Brother Chiradeep also. I'm like, why this book? Like, why are you writing about this book? For what reason? And then he was like, no, no, no. I was inspired by the way Hannah, held on to that faith, how she cried out to the Lord and she didn't leave the Lord's hand. Because uh, for me, when I went through a couple of these diagnoses, I said, God, why me? There are millions of people in this world today. Why did you choose me? Am I such a big sinner? Or have I done something so wrong? That's how we normally think, right? And that is how I was thinking and still am thinking, okay? But that is not what Hannah did. At one point of time, I was like, God, if this is what if this is what has happened to me, if you've allowed all this, then I think I should say Tata bye bye to you. I don't think there's any point in me having this relationship with you. But then when I looked at Hannah, the way she held on to the Lord, how she kept crying and pleading and um, desperately waiting on Him, I said, yeah, I have something to learn from this story. And I just love how Brother Chiradeep has used his choice of words in the book, um, how he has interpreted the biblical story, okay, the biblical phenomena, and today's psychological practices. I really enjoyed how he's brought about an integration of the both of both these fields. And hats off to you, bro. We are looking forward to um, more books and more works from you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Thank you for your. Yes, while you're telling that barrenness, it's not only about not having children, it's about spiritual barrenness. I remember, we had brought a preacher from another church to a church, and once he gave this message, a beautiful message actually, it was. What he was telling was if a church is not multiplying, if new believers are not coming to the church is barren. So we can take this barrenness point in various perspectives. And I think all those people who read this book, each and everyone will connect to this book, because some or other, each and everyone might have experienced some such turmoils in their life, and how they come out of it, how God helped them through the faith in God. And really, because the story is a very small story, as Sam told, we just read in First Samuel that Anna went to Shiloh. She didn't had a child, and she cried bitterly. And in a few verses, the entire story gets completed. And when we read it, we will not very deeply, we will meditate about it, because it's a common story which you have learned from childhood itself. In Sunday school, it's often a common story. But Chiradeep brother, he has taken each and every aspect of it and has analyzed it from a psychological point of view, and yes, integrated the psychological cognitive behavioral therapy model. Yes, what brother told as a point. Often Christian counselors, we are very wary to use secular psychological therapies and integrate it with Christian counseling. But yes, whatever it contrasts against Bible, we can leave that. But what is beneficial, we should definitely opt, because no one is perfect. In everything we can see pros and cons. Let it be science, let it be psychology, everything has its own positive and negative points. We can take the positive points and apply it, because the church is a huge platform where counseling is needed for everyone. We all are counselors at certain point of time. No one can tell that I can only be a counselor. I've never taken counseling from anyone. No one can tell like that. So it's really important that this book should be read by everyone, by men's, guys, those who are married, not married, those who are waiting for the baby, even those who are having children. When they read this book, they will go back to their past, what all they faced when they were childless, and how they are overcome it, and how this book can further help them to give counseling to other people. So thank you, Chiradeep brother. Thank you for this wonderful book. And in future also we are expecting more books, because I have read previous books of Chiradeep brother. It would be a small book. I have read his book about the Passion Week. It would be in the poetic form. I have read his book on novellas, and this book was entirely different. So while reading this book, as a counselor, even I had to repeat it once or twice again, and he has integrated the psychological models and even the language. Everything was totally different. So, brother, in various there are topics which need to be handled as a Christian. So, if you would integrate more of the psychological aspect in your further works, we would be really happy, and it would be useful for all. So, thank you for taking your time and coming to us for this episode. And thank you, Sam. Even Sam is very busy, and often when I used to call him as a panelist, he will tell, Akka, no, by 7:30 I will be traveling. I will not reach home. So today God made him to come home quickly, able to give a very beautiful review. And he has also maintained the suspense. He did give a very nice presentation, but he made viewers to really, yes, I should go for this book. So viewers, you can buy this book through Amazon. It is available, as Sam told, it is just released on August 15th. And I'd like to thank Sister Kristen. Sister has been traveling to different places, I think, but even she took the time and came today. So thank you, Sister, for your insights. So may God help us all to move high in life and be a blessing to many. So next episode, we, dear friends, we will come with a new book with a new presenter. Till then, goodbye and good night. And we are sorry for the slight delay. We are delayed by 15. Yes. Chiradeep brother wants to say something. Please, brother.
No, I said goodbye. Yeah.
So brother was telling goodbye. I thought he wanted to say add something.
No,
So
I forgot to thank Sam for doing it beautifully. We forgot to review Sam's review. We started speaking our speeches. Anyway, I was just saying bye.
bye. Okay, brother. Thank you, brother. So thank you,
Hey,
Sam.
I want to say something too. Can you hear me? If I can say something very quick.
Yeah.
When Sister Jemima said, like, yeah, we know Brother Sam, like, he is a very supportive husband. Did you say something like that?
Yes, sister, I did say.
Yes. Okay. I got bits and pieces of everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Brother Sam, hats off to you. And yeah, hats off to everybody, because I see a lot of change in the present generation, including many of my friends, the guys especially, who know, few of them know that, okay, that this is what I'm going through. And I didn't know, like, what I was wondering how they would react. But then the reaction that I got from them was so great and amazing. They've been so supportive. There are very few only who know it. Most of my friends don't know it. But it's amazing to see, how the guys also think. And yeah, and in fact, just to say, I've got more respect from the guys than the girls. Okay. So hats off to Brother Sam, Brother Chiradeep, and to everyone, like, who respects the guys, and also respect everybody in general. And I do know a couple of men also, who are going through these issues of infertility, but sadly they don't have, I won't say freedom, but then they don't feel comfortable to speak about it. They fear speaking about it. They think that people will judge them, and in fact, some of them have judged us as well. So I hope this book will be an encouragement for them also to, accept themselves the way they are and come out in the open and also support people who are going through a similar situation. So thank you, Sister Jemima. Thank you, Brother Sam. Chiradeep always. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sam. Thank you to Brother Chiradeep. Thank you to Sister Christine. Yes, guys are now quite mature. They are understanding the whys far better. I think perhaps the reason for this, they have grown up seeing their moms, and their moms might have suffered in many areas of their life. They might not have got a good support system from their dad. So this all must have made these guys to learn that I will not be like that with my wife. And because I can relate to it, because when my first child was born 7.5 8 years back, my husband was okay. He would provide everything. He would financially provide. He will take me to the hospital and all. But then he had this attitude. Yeah, childbirth, child rearing, everything. It belongs to only male. But when my second child, after 8 years, when my second child was born, he's totally into it. And now my son, he doesn't want me. He's just 1.5 years old, but he wants his dad only. So he took really, really very good care, because he was born during, he's a COVID batch baby. So there was no one to help. And so guys are really changing. And all this is because of the grace of the God, because God is giving them the wisdom. So may we all with wisdom build our family, try to understand our partners, and it will make a really good family. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah.